Hello, everyone. Yes, this is the Baptist now. And I just want to make clarification of a story that was got pressed by the national media 2 days ago. And I have seen it circulating all over in the media that they claim that there's a woman who is at large being traced by the police who left a friend who is purported to be a man who died on his way to JKIA. And these reporters, sometimes they have come to realize why they always have problems, and especially with the politicians, is because they take half-baked reports and they try to imagine, because whoever wrote that report, I tried to ask him, and he said he got it from the police. Fine, well and good, but the reality of the matter is that this is the driver, the one you are looking at, the one who is talking to you now. This is the driver who was driving that said victim. But the truth of the matter is that it wasn't a man, it was a lady. And this lady, I picked them from an apartment adjacent to the 67 hotel in Syokimau. This was at about around 5:30 when I went dropping another client that I had picked from the airport, and then I received their request on Bolt when I was almost arriving, when I was somewhere at Lockman petrol station. So after I picked this lady, before I picked them, when I went to the gate, the watchman said that I don't need to enter because these people were just right next to the gate. And when they came, I saw two ladies coming. And one of the ladies, who was a bit huge, didn't look to be that all right. So they came, the two, and looked like she was being supported by a colleague. And on entering the car from the right hand side, from the rear side of my car, on the right hand side, she seemed to be like looking weakly. To me, it clicked in my mind that she might have taken some alcohol, because it's usual. We are used to getting them when they are drunk. So, but I asked the lady, "Hey, madam, are you okay?" But she said that she was feeling dizzy. So the other one told me to give her a minute. She was going to give back the key to the apartment. So when they came, we started our journey, and we drove, and some few meters before we could reach the tarmac, the said lady who was seated at my back, the one I was talking about, asking whether she was well, I came to learn her name was Esther, and she said she wanted a place she can do some photocopies of her air ticket. So after that, we did a photocopy, then we proceeded, and before we could reach the Lukman petrol station, she said that she needed to eat something. So a friend asked her what she wanted to eat. Then she said she wanted to eat some chips. So to me, it lingered in my mind that she's has taken alcohol. So I advised her. I said, "No, madam, you get something to do with like soup." So I pulled to the petrol station because I wanted to refuel my car. So upon entering the petrol station, sorry for that, upon entering the petrol station, her colleague came out of the car and went straight to the restaurant. And within a few minutes, she came having a bottle of soda, Fanta, which she handed to the other lady. And so as I wanted to go, she said, "No, don't go. There is some chips which is coming." So she went back again and brought some chips. So we started our journey. So as we started our journey, there like 2 minutes, she said, the lady who bought chips said, "No, I'm not the one going to the airport," though she was the one who had requested the cab. She said, "No, you find a better place for me and drop me where I can take a Mararu to town, because I'm not very much conversant with Nairobi. Put me in a good place so that I can go to catch a bus or a matatu to the CBD." So I drove all the way to the turning off to the SGR. Next, there is a stage that we call it Kappa. So I dropped her there, and then I proceeded with my trip towards the airport. But there, like 200 meters, I had some commotion behind my back seat, and upon looking at my rear at my window, my mirror, sorry, I saw my passenger kicking so much and throwing her hands. And because she was still eating her chips, I saw her trying to put out the chips from her mouth. So immediately I just pulled to the side of the road, and I lifted my phone and I called the lady because I had only her contacts. So I asked her, does your friend have any problem? Said, "What's the matter?" Then I told her that your friend is kicking so much and is kind of like shaking. Then she said, "Oh, well, there's no worry. Just pull to the side of the road. I'm coming." She normally has epilepsy. So I did that one, and to me, from the training of first aid that I trained with the St. John's, um, I just know that somebody who is epileptic, once the attack comes, it will only take 5 minutes and then it goes. So when I stopped, I tried to call the lady again, but her phone went off. So I thought, oh, maybe she's coming. But now let me take attention to this lady. So when I went to the rear door at the back on my left hand side, she was still, she had already now kind of like leaned towards the seat. And before I could open the gate, the door, she fell on she lied on the back seat, all of it. But now there she was still kicking her legs and trying to vomit the chips that she had. So I thought, like, there's no enough air inside here. So I called, because where I was, it's just outside the nice and lovely gate. So I called, there were some people were there. There were cops, the soldiers, and then there was an epic cop and some ladies who were there. Actually, those two ladies, may the Lord bless them so much. They helped me that we lifted her, though she was too heavy. And besides there was a small mattress while she was laid, and then we put something on her head. Then immediately I called the SOS from the Bolt side, and from there then I proceeded. I called the ambulance, and the lady from the ambulance advised me to make sure that she doesn't lay on her back but lay by her side, of which I had already done. So within a few minutes, the ambulance came. So the nurse who was there went straight to examine her so that they can administer first aid. But unfortunately, she did all she could, and then she came and told me, "Hey, no, there's no sign of life here." So what else could we do? We proceeded to call the police. Before that, I had already pressed the 112, which is an emergency line for the National Police Service, and they had responded. So within a short time, the police came, because I think also Bolt, actually the ambulance was sent by Bolt, and congratulations to Bolt. So the police came from, I think, Mombasa Road Police Post, Patrol Base. So they came, and then from there, we had the DCI guys coming, we had the forensic. They came, they took all the samples. But that is not the story. The story was behind this lady, the other lady who ran away, because I tried her phone and I could not reach her. So the lucky thing that was happened was when I went to reach the phone of the lady now who has already passed on, I found one phone was off and the other one was on. And lucky enough, there was no um, password on it. So I scrolled down and I luckily bounced on her mother's number that I called. And upon calling, she agreed and admitted that she knew the owner of the phone. So I tried to say that the owner of the phone is not in a good condition. So the mother was in Nakuru, but the other ones I was given their contacts. They were in Nairobi. So luckily enough, I contacted them and they all came, 7 of them, and one guy calling himself the boyfriend. So we tried to look for ways, and eventually the police advised we take the body to the city mortuary, and then they also booked for a postmortem. And now the police now left, but the DCI guys stayed with us, and they told me that I take them to the apartment. So upon arriving at the apartment, we found that the lady who ran away, first of all, she had because the apartment was a Airbnb, and the lady, when entering the apartment, did not give her full details. So their suspicion was again, and the deceased, when she came, she did not indicate that she was going to this lady who ran away. So from her phone, when I took her phone, most of the conversation for the of that week was was between her and that lady, and then numbers of some Nigerians, things like that. So we found that there was kind of like not a good clear report, and the house that this other lady went to belonged to another guy of whom we accompanied us to the police station. He recorded his statements, and then it was like that until the morning when I was released, and later in the day the police went for the post-mortem. Unfortunately, when they went there are reports, suspicion that if you want a full comprehensive report, you can get it from the DCI Embakasi. So it was some sort of like there was some suspicion the lady had swallowed some hard drugs which burst in our body that led to the death. So that was the story anyway. And I thank God that my app was on and my car was compliant. I was also compliant. And my advice to the guys who are doing any of the taxi job, either online or their own ways, just be safe and make sure that your car is compliant, PSV compliant, traffic NTSA inspection is there. Make sure that you yourself, you are compliant, your license is up to date, you have got a PSV driver's license. And also when you are doing the online, for those who do online, make sure that you don't just go offline. And there are those also who are kind of like hiring accounts. Please try the much you can so that you can get your own account instead of hiring account. Otherwise, this could have landed me in a very bad situation. But I thank the Lord that all was well. So for now, I thank God for this, and I'm sorry for the family for the loss, and we pray the Lord to rest the soul of the deceased in eternal peace. Thank you, guys. Nation media, kindly don't report things that you don't know. I have come to realize why you always have problems with the politicians is because you twist stories. But that was the story. I am the Baptist. Um, that is my story for now. I'm still traumatized. And I should also thank Bolt because they had so much attention on me, calling me. There's a lady by the name of Irene. Only one Indian lady who called me back, kind of like blaming me, saying that because that ride was on Bolt, and the person who requested the ride was not the deceased. So at the end of the story, I wrote a report that the rider didn't pay because she's not the one who died. So this Indian lady who claims to be a customer care at Bolt, I want to say shame on you because you don't come somebody who is traumatized and start blaming, saying that I'm a bad person, I'm asking money from the dead, blah blah blah, things like that. So for now, I don't demand any money from the Bolt. I just wrote a report because no matter how much money I could get, cannot bring back the life of that lady. So for now, thank you very much, guys. That is the story. That is my story. Thank you. God bless.